Hi, my name is Scott Sims. I'm a Liberal Member of Parliament from the riding of Bonavista, Gander, Grand Falls, Windsor, which is really central Newfoundland. I'm participating because I found the first time that I did this, it was such a learning experience for me that I want to do it again so that I can remind myself just how difficult it is for people in this situation. We take so many things for granted that we never stop to think about others who are in this situation, how difficult life can be for them. But the one thing I noticed, being the chair, is space. Getting between things is what you don't realize when you're not in a chair. And I was actually pretty amazed at how little space there is. And that was only around Parliament Hill. I can't imagine airplanes, trains, automobiles, obviously, but just getting around normal buildings where everyone assumes that people walk by in certain spaces and you're just doorways. It's tough. Accessibility to me is a word that is to be fully understood by those, I think, who are not in a chair. Because people who are in a chair, they know what their access is not. In order for them, to make life easier for them, we have to understand what the word access means, and I don't think we do on so many levels. I remember when I first got into the chair for the whole day and I had to use the washroom. Well, my goodness, it was such an eye-opener. It was unbelievable, you know. Something as rudimentary as that, or being in a room full of people where they're socializing and trying to get from one end of the room to the other to talk to people. It's very difficult. No, people in many cases they're not trying to be mean, it's just access. You know, they don't understand what it's like to not have access to places that they take for granted. Because a community is only truly a community if everybody in that community has the same access. And access not just to physical structures, but access to life, access to benefits, access to fulfilling your dream, access to having an income, all that. And communities, if there are people in your community that don't get access because of barriers created by others, well, then they're not really a community, because not everybody has benefited. I think the campaign is important for people with disabilities because the genuine understanding has to be out there amongst people who are not, who cannot access everything, who have disabilities and are in a chair. I think that the campaigns teach people like us about access is such an important issue. So that way when you're in a meeting and people say, in order to do something throughout, you know, this building or community, we must keep in mind that people who have disabilities need access. And that conversation has to happen when the planning of a certain thing is right away. So that way it's not an add-on after the fact. So let's say we build a new town hall. The conversation about access for people with disabilities, people who are in a chair like this, that conversation has to take place when the very first conversation takes place about constructing a new town hall, or any type of hall for that matter, or someone's house. Government officials put standards in place. The standards must be set by people or decision makers, and not all of them have disabilities, but at least without disabilities they would have understanding. My goal is to outreach with what I'm doing, so to let people know in my constituency what I'm doing to increase awareness about accessibility. And to me, that's That's something I'm doing this year that I didn't emphasize last year or the year prior. The emphasis was to have me understand about how access is important and how we take it for granted. Now the goal is to me to go through this and to communicate why I'm doing this and how important it is. I want to thank you and your organization for doing this. It takes a lot of work, and you're doing that work. And I hope everybody who benefits from this, including myself, get a chance to thank you. So thank you.